Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Ashley and this is Martin Midlife Misadventures. Today we are back in this pantry and it is exploding, everybody. Absolutely exploding. Can't handle it anymore. Gonna make some big changes, so let's just get to it. Okay, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we live in a 31-foot travel trailer and we have converted the bedroom into our pantry, all right? Okay, over here we're going to start with all this stack stuff. I just have some pet food. There's some beers down here, things like that. I've got tons of juices and some Nido milk. I even have some oats down there, everybody. But that's not my main point of this today. Do you see all these things that I have here on the floor? You see all this? All right. Well, it's got to go. All these things are going to go except for probably about half of this. This is about 75 pounds of salt right here in this little mountain. And we're going to send half of that, but all the rest of it has got to go over to the bug out location. All right, everybody. First, I want to give you a little something to think about buying, okay? This is called a textured soy protein, okay? Do you see this? Crumbly. We probably have about 50 pounds of this. And let me tell you, this stuff is great for hard times. It's just a paste that they make out of soy flour and water, and then they spread it in the dehydrators, and they dehydrate it, okay? Then you crumble it up. This right here, 17 grams of protein with this. It's got like 7 grams of fiber. It is an excellent way to stretch your hamburger, okay? So if you can find this stuff, it's usually not very expensive either. I think the last time we bought it, we found it for like $1.49 or something like that. We used to be able to get it for 99 cents, but this is an 8-ounce bag. So just something I wanted you to think about. These are, and they last forever. You can stick them in a mason jar. You can put them in a Mylar bag. You can stick them in a bucket. These will last forever if you keep them protected from the critters because there's no oil in them. Okay, everybody, I have a question for you. I want you to think about it now, and I'm going to ask you again later. If the lights went out tomorrow, and I'm not kidding, if the grid was attacked, if the lights went out for a significant period of time, what do you have? What could you do? What could you make? Okay? And I ask you that because I have kept track of what it will take for 1 month for me, Amy, and Grandpa to have bread. And by bread, I'm talking only sandwich bread, not hot dog buns and bagels and biscuits and all of that. Okay, this is just for our sandwich bread. And when you hear this, I hope you get what I'm getting at. In 1 month's time, again, this is just sandwich bread, everybody. We used 36.83 cups of flour, 39 tablespoons of sugar, 16.5 teaspoons of salt, 31 tablespoons of oil, and 28 tablespoons of yeast. Now, in a year's time, just for our sandwich bread, okay? This isn't baking cakes, making zucchini bread, making batters, or whatever, flouring your meat before you put it in the pan, all of it. There's so many things we use flour for. We are only talking about sandwiches here, okay? For a year, Amy, Grandpa, and I, so 3 people, will need at least 120 pounds of flour, 29 cups of sugar. Now, let me tell you something. About 11¼ cups is a 5-pound bag of sugar. So that's almost 15 pounds of sugar, okay? This is just for the bread, everybody. Salt, will need almost 3 pounds of salt. Now, we push salt all the time on people, and it's because unless you buy something that specifically says low sodium, it's got salt in it. Everything we eat has salt in it. The Bible talks about salt. Salt is necessary for us to live. And unless you live next to a salt mine, that's not something you can grow. You really need to stock up on your salt. 1.5 gallons of oil, everybody. And 336 tablespoons of yeast. Now, that's a lot of yeast, all right? That's something I definitely cannot keep on hand, so it is time for me to learn how to make my own starters and do that exclusively. The yeast is not going to be doable long term for me. The flour, that's really not going to be doable for super long time for me either. Sitting right here in my bin and on the floor right here, in the trailer, I have about 100 pounds of flour, okay? So I don't even have enough to bake sandwich bread for the next year. And that really concerns me. I'm going to go ahead and continue to stock up on flour as much as I can, but I'm also exploring alternatives in making my own flour. I bought some chickpea flour. Why? Because I have so many chickpeas, I couldn't even begin to tell you, and I've got plantable chickpeas that I bought from a very reputable seed dealer. And if this works, if I like this, guess what? These chickpeas is going to be a major crop for us. We also have trees all over the property that are covered in acorns, and you bet we're going to harvest those and we're going to learn how to make acorn flour. You have to have alternatives. You have to have alternative spaces to keep some of your food if you can. If you have a family member, one that you trust very much so, who would always be a part of your mag and a part of a bug out situation, you need to get together. You need to get together. You need to store food in different places. If our trailer caught fire tomorrow, do you see all this, everybody? Do you see what we would lose? Something kind of cool. Got something for free. But it was a gift and it was wonderful. I baked my friend Nancy and her husband Johnny a loaf of bread, and they brought me 5 pounds of flour. Isn't that nice, everybody? See, you do something nice for people and it comes back to you. That's just my point. Do not inundate yourself with negativity and doom and gloom. Sometimes we need to get serious and we need to buckle down, but you need to keep it lighthearted. Keep yourselves positive. That is the only way you are going to propel forward. Dwelling in negative is not going to put you in action. I promise you it will not. Do you want to see some more of the pantry? All right, let's take a look. We're going to start up here, everybody. It is jam-packed just with so many random things. We've got some fuels, we've got some butane, this is a big thing of kerosene, and I have some of my baking items up here, okay? Pie fillings, buttermilk, jellos, unflavored gelatin. I keep some yeast packets and some yeast here. Down here is just goodies, everybody. You gotta have the goodies. So this is all my little pre-packaged baking things, as well as more pie fillings, some shelf-stable milk. In here is just some random things. These are some of those 2,400 calorie food ration bar things. But this is all baking mixes. I've got a bunch of different types of chocolate chips, as well as all these different muffin mixes. You get the idea, right? Okay. This next shelf is baking type items as well. More of the shelf-stable milk. We've got some Augustin Farms butter. I've got 2 of those and a couple types of milk there. Baking powders, evaporated milks, condensed milk. And here I have some egg replacer. This whole basket here is packed with milk. All kinds of different packets of powdered milk. This row down here, it's hard for me to get to because we're in an RV, but right here is where I keep the things I need to use right now. These are all my tomato products that are closest to their expiration date, so I grab from here first. All this stuff back there is really well off in expiration. I don't need to get to it. That's why I keep it there. Down here, I have a couple cases. I do have a couple. You just can't see the other. There's one right there. But I have a couple cases of these Hormel microwavable meals. We don't have a microwave, but you can eat them right out of the pouch if you need to, and we just heat them on the stove. I have a case of tomatoes. There's like a case of peas back there, and it goes way back there, but I have about 6 gallons of oil and I think 3 gallons of vinegar. Just some little, oh, there's some more oil back there too. And some soda. We've got 12-pound bags of beans. I've got another one over here and pastas. This right here is full of Chef Boyardees and things like that, as well as I've got this collard greens here. These, again, are things closest to expiration. I need to be using these in the next couple of months. I just happen to put these beans in here because they need to be repackaged. And we have some more pasta. This is our soda we're drinking right now. This is 5 pounds of self-rising flour because my flour bin is too full. I can't fit any more in. So we're just going to leave that there. In here, I've got, you've seen this before, those of you who haven't. This is just all random bread mixes. Cornbread, hush puppies, biscuits. I've got a couple pizza crusts back there. And then right down here, I've got the standard Jiffy mixes and some crackers, some gnocchi, some rice paper. These last forever, everybody. You should stock up on these. Really cool thing to have on hand. Down here are all Norsides. All Norsides. And some green superfood antioxidant. They come in these little pouches. These are excellent to have on hand, everybody. If you're not feeling good, ooh, pop one of these and it helps. Up here, we've got cookies. Cookies, rice-a-ronies, not very many of these. And all these hamburger helper type things. I do have a few stuffings. And then some mashed potatoes, which I'm down to just these, everybody. I've repackaged most of them. I'm so excited about that. We do have some cereals. And up here on the very top, I have some instant ready to go for one meal mashed potatoes. And this is our goodies for now. My sister-in-law got us this, guys. You got to try these coconut clusters. This stuff is so good. But yeah, that's just goodies. I'll take you over to the back wall, if I can get through, and show you what I got here. Now, I've just got every nook and cranny full, okay? I filled that one with peas, this one with these seasoned butter beans, and this one's filled with green beans. All our proteins are back in here. I've got chicken breasts, tons of these Vienna sausages. Chicken ones are the ones that we buy. We have a lot of chicken bologna, beef stews, lots of sweet stews. I'm super excited. These go too deep, everybody. So right here, we have 9 spams now. They've added up really quickly. Amy and I love corned beef hash. There's 9 of them up here and then 1 here. So we have 10 of those. Plus this really big one for us to have with Grandpa. And then we have a bunch of these corned beefs, just the whole corned beefs. That is Protein Central. Up here's all our oats. Everybody knows how Amy loves her oatmeal. We've got lots of different selections from oat bran to Scottish oatmeal. We've got Irish oatmeal as well as the Dollar Tree stuff. We've got instant packets, lots of grits. We love grits. Here's my little extra jar of brown bread from Jane. Thank you, Jane. We've got some Augustin blueberries. We love blueberries and they go really, really good in your oatmeal. For the most part, this is all condiment type stuff. Olives, sauces, jalapenos, you get the idea. I love these cheeses. They last till like 2025 right now, everybody. So pick these up at Walmart. It's the real deal. And all the drink mixes. All right, we can look up here. This is just our condiment section. We have a lot of coffee shoved back there as well. Everything stays nice and cool up here. See, my coconut oil's not even melting. I've got several of them back there, but it's just condiments and extra things. Corn syrup. I wish there was a light so I could show you, but it's just all kinds of ketchups, mustards, salad dressing, steak sauces, barbecue sauces, etc. Okay, we got some Sweet Baby Ray's back there. That's what we have up here. We're gonna look in here. I've got some of these Goya seasonings. This little dresser here is nothing except for gravies and spices. These are my new gravies from Jane. Look, Jane, I have them. I'm so excited to try them. But you get the idea, right? Back here's my chicken gravies. These are all 100% from here back, our brown gravy. And these are like the little peppered breakfast gravies. There's also some bouillons in here and things like that. The next drawer is taco seasoning and soups. These are all tacos and fajitas. And back here, these are all chili beans. You get the point, right? All of those, and then the soups, and some Velveeta pouches of cheese, and some onion soup mix. And the bottom one is all spices. Everything in here is spices. And that's why this bin of spices here is going to go ahead and go to the bug out location, because I have doubles of everything. Actually, triples and quadruples of everything. Underneath all this are cans of beans. They go too deep, all kinds, pinto beans, black beans, mixed chili beans. That's another thing of gravy, but that's a giant one. You get the idea, just cans of beans. All right, everyone, how about that tour? I know it wasn't as in-depth as I normally get, but it's because I really wanted to talk to you about these ingredients and how much we really need. Please take the time, and I ask you, if it hit tomorrow, if it hit the fan tomorrow, what do you have? Are you ready to self-sustain for an extended period of time need be? If the lights go out, what would we do, everybody? What would we do? If the power goes out, eventually the water stops. There's so many complications with it. And I really, really feel it's something we need to be preparing for, okay? I will continue to share with you these type of things as I figure out how much I need in a year or whatever. But that was just 3 people. I'm prepping for more than 3 people. We're mothers, you know what I mean? If our children need to come to us someday because the world is getting that crazy, they need to be able to come here and they need to be able to eat. And we take that very, very seriously, and I hope that you are too. I'm not trying to be negative Nilly. You know I don't want to be that way, but sometimes we need to get serious, okay? That's all I'm doing is being serious, so you know I really think it's important. I really, really think this is important, okay? And please be careful of what you're ingesting. If you're constantly watching negative Nillies, be careful. It's not proactive. You need to be positive and you need to be doing. Don't get buried in watching all the negative. It's not going to be good for your spirit, and it's definitely not going to be good for your pantry, okay? All right, everybody, thank you. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we are going to be talking to you really soon. God bless you all.